Good morning, students. Welcome back to our online classes. Class 8 Social Studies. This is our second video on this chapter resources. The first video on this chapter was circulated on 21st April via YouTube. I hope you got enough time to go through the video and try to understand the chapter. Now today we need to recall some important points. Here I have underlined these points and I would advise you to do the same so that in examination if you get certain questions within the text it will become easy for you to answer them. Just have a look. Anything that can be used to satisfy a need is a resource, and for this we have a very good example as your father has prepared a tasty snack for you. Now for this tasty snack, your father has used some fresh vegetables. Now these fresh vegetables which he has used to make the snack have become a resource. Resources like water, electricity, rickshaw, vegetable and textbook have something in common. They all have been used by us, so they have utility. That means we can term utility as utility or usability is what makes an object or substance a resource. How does something become a resource? Things become resource only when they have a value. Its use or utility gives it a value. All resources have some value. Now what's value? Value means worth. Some resources have economic value, some do not. For example, metals may have an economic value. A beautiful landscape may not. But both are important and they satisfy human needs. Similarly, you can see that your grandmother's home remedies have no commercial value today. But if they are patented and sold by a medical firm tomorrow, they could become economically valuable. Moving on to our next page, have a look. Time and technology are two important factors that can change substance into resources. People themselves are the most important resource we have read, because the ideas, the knowledge, the invention and discoveries that led to the creation of more resources proves that people are an important resource. Very big example is the discovery of fire, which led to the practice of cooking. Moving on to the types of resources, let me recall. Resources that are drawn from nature and used without much modification are called natural resources. Air we breathe, the water in our rivers and lakes, the soil, minerals are all natural resources. They can be classified into two types, though they are named as renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are those which get renewed or replenished quickly. That means we can make them again. They can be recycled. Some sources are unlimited and are not affected by human activities. That is our solar and wind energy. You can see the resources like water, soil and forest can affect their stock. That means if we use them carelessly, it is understood that we will not be able to sustain for a longer period as if these resources get exhausted. Water seems to be an unlimited renewable resource, but shortage and drying up of natural water resource is a major problem in many parts of the world. Non-renewable resources are those which have a limited stock. It may take thousands of years to be renewed or replenished. That means we have to be very careful about these resources Because if they take thousands of years, that means it is far beyond the human lifespan. Our generations will survive for thousands, but not a particular one generation. Similarly, if you go for, you can see the example of non-renewable resources like coal, petroleum, and natural gas. The distribution of natural resources depends upon number of physical factors like terrain, climate, and altitude. The distribution of resources is unequal because these factors differ so much over the earth. Differ in the sense like in different places it is different. So ultimately these factors affect. Now talking about the human made resources, sometimes natural substances become resources only when the original form has been changed. For example, people use natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machinery, and vehicles, which are known as human made resources. Technology is also a human made resource. People have the knowledge, skill, and the ability and the technologies to do so. That is why human beings are a special resource. People are human resources. Education and health help in making people a valuable resource. Improving the quality of people's skill so that they are able to create more resources is known as human resource development. When we talk about the conserving resources, if you remember in the story, the friends of Mona and Raju, the way they tried certain ways to show how they can conserve the resources. Using resources carefully and giving them time to get renewed is called resource conservation. That means the resources which are available, if we use them carefully, and certain resources which can be renewed if they are given appropriate time, they are termed as resource conservation. Balancing the need to use resources and also conserve them for the future is called sustainable development. There are many ways of conserving resources. Each person can contribute by reducing consumption, recycling, and reusing things. Ultimately, it makes a difference because all our lives are linked. Moving on to this page, let me show you these last 3 points which are very important. The future of our planet and its people is linked with our ability to maintain and preserve the life support system that nature provides. Therefore, it is our duty to ensure that all uses of renewable resources are sustainable. The diversity of life on the earth is conserved. The damage to natural environmental system is minimized. I hope you all have gone through the video to have a look at the chapter. In our previous video, I had a word with you regarding this activity in which you can have a look what it is asking. Circle those resources from Amma's list that are regarded as having no commercial value. As I read out, that's like example, giving you an example of your grandmother's home remedy. Though it is not being patent, it has no commercial value because for that you are not paying anything. Neither your grandma is earning any money from that. So among the list, you can see I have circled these 5 things which have no commercial value. These are old folk songs, good weather, a good singing voice, grandmother's home remedies, and affection from friends and family. Apart from these 5, rest all have commercial value. Moving on to our exercises. First we have answer the following questions. First question. Why are resources distributed unequally over the earth? For this, you need to move on to page 3. Have a look. Here is the answer. The distribution of natural resource depends upon a number of physical factors like terrain, climate, and altitude. The distribution of resources is unequal because these factors differ so much over the earth. This is answer number 1. Moving on to our second question. Let's read out. What is resource conservation? Here is your answer. Page number 4. Using resources carefully and giving them time to get renewed is called resource conservation. This is your second answer. The third question is, why are human resources important? This answer is in my notebook. Have a look. People can make the best use of nature to create more resources when they have the knowledge, skill, and technology to do so. Hence, human resources are important. This is your third answer. Coming back to question number 4. What is sustainable development? Here you have the answer. Page number 4. Balancing the need to use resources and also conserve them for the future is called sustainable development. So these are the 4 question answers as per the exercise. Now moving on to the second question. Tick the correct answer. Which one of the following does not make substance a resource? यानी इन 3 वर्ड्स में से कौन सा वो वर्ड है जो किसी सब्सटेंस को रिसोर्स नहीं बनाता है? दैट इज क्वांटिटी. Which one of the following is a human made resource? Of these 3 options, like tropical forest, spring water, medicines to treat cancer. Now, medicines to treat cancer is the answer of this question. Complete the statement. Non-renewable resources are derived from non-living things. This is the answer of this third question. Now I would show you the format in which way you will do your work in your notebooks. Just have a look. Towards the left, I have mentioned CW. Towards the right, I have mentioned the date. In the center or towards from the left, you will start in this way. Chapter 1, resources. Leaving a line, you will write the heading, answer the following questions. Again, leaving one more line, you will write the first question. When the question gets over, a question mark is there. Leave one more line after the question and write the answer. As your answer completes, for example, if your answer has completed in this line, then this is your ending line after answer first. After this ending line, again you need to leave a line and write the second question, and the same format will go for all 4 questions, and at the end of 4th answer, leaving one more line, you will draw a ending line. Second question, take the correct answers. You will do in the format of fill in the blanks. The heading will be written in the same manner as you can see, and similarly you will do the 3 questions. 1, again when the question completes, whether it's 1 line or 2 line, you leave a line and then you move to the second question, and similarly you move to the third question. I would request all the students that you have enough time at home to do your work. So please be careful while writing the answers. Your handwriting should be good and your spelling mistakes should not be there, because every answer you are seeing and writing from your book, either or from my notes. So I hope the chapter is clear to you. Just have a look to both the videos and try to understand the chapter once again. In my next video, we'll start with the second chapter. Till then, take care. Bye.